The COVID-19 pandemic has caused a severe shock to the European economy, with significant disruptions to the labor market. Millions of workers have lost their jobs or faced reduced hours and income as a result of the crisis. How are they coping with the financial and emotional challenges, and what support are they getting from the government and society? One of the main policy responses to prevent mass unemployment in Europe has been the widespread use of job retention schemes, also known as furlough schemes or short work schemes. These programs allow employers to temporarily reduce working hours or suspend work contracts while the government pays part or all of the workers' wages. According to a study by IMF staff, these schemes have kept around 4 million workers in their jobs and lowered the unemployment rate by 2.5 percentage points in the euro area. However, these schemes are not a permanent solution, and many of them are being phased out or scaled back as the economy recovers. This means that some workers may face permanent layoffs or have to look for new jobs in different sectors or regions. The labor market recovery has also been uneven across countries, industries, and population groups, reflecting different initial conditions, policy support, and underlying growth. For example, workers in contact-intensive sectors such as tourism, hospitality, and retail have been hit harder than those in other parts of the economy and have found it harder to get back into work or are still working fewer hours than before the crisis. These workers tend to be young, low-skilled, and on temporary employment arrangements, which makes them more vulnerable to income loss and poverty. The pandemic has also taken a toll on the mental health and well-being of workers who have lost their jobs or faced uncertainty and stress. A survey by Eurofound, the research arm of the European Union, found that workers who became unemployed during the pandemic reported lower levels of life satisfaction, happiness, and optimism than those who remained employed. They also reported higher levels of loneliness, anxiety, and depression than before the crisis. The survey also found that workers who were able to work from home or had flexible working arrangements reported better mental health outcomes than those who had to work on-site or had fixed schedules. To help workers cope with the financial and emotional challenges of the pandemic, governments and societies have provided various forms of support. Besides job retention schemes, governments have also expanded unemployment benefits, social assistance, tax relief, and other measures to cushion the income shock and prevent poverty and social exclusion. Some countries have also introduced or increased subsidies for training, reskilling, or upskilling programs to help workers adapt to changing labor market needs and improve their employability. In addition, governments have invested in mental health services and awareness campaigns to address the psychological impact of the crisis and reduce stigma around seeking help. Societies have also shown solidarity and compassion towards workers who have lost their jobs or faced difficulties during the pandemic. Many examples of mutual aid, volunteering, crowdfunding, and charitable donations have emerged across Europe to support those in need. For instance, food banks have seen a surge in demand but also in donations and volunteers during the crisis. Online platforms have also facilitated peer-to-peer support and networking among workers who have been affected by the pandemic. The pandemic has exposed the fragility and inequality of the European labor market but also the resilience and generosity of its workers. As Europe faces a second shock from spillovers caused by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, it is crucial that governments and societies continue to provide adequate support and protection to those who have lost their jobs or face uncertainty and hardship. The recovery from the crisis is an opportunity to build a more inclusive, sustainable, and human-centered labor market that leaves no one behind. The COVID-19 pandemic has not only caused millions of job losses across Europe, but also increased the stress and pressure on those who still have their jobs. According to a survey by EU OSHA, more than 4 out of 10 workers, 44%, say that their work stress has increased as a result of the pandemic. Some of the factors that contribute to this stress are severe time pressure or work overload, poor communication or cooperation within the organization, and a lack of control over work pace or work processes. Stress can have negative effects on both mental and physical health. The survey found that 30% of respondents reported at least one health problem: overall fatigue, headaches, eye strain, muscle problems or pain, caused or made worse by work. Moreover, stress can impair productivity, performance and quality of work, as well as increase absenteeism and turnover. How are the workers coping with this increased stress and managing their work-life balance? The survey revealed that 50% of workers said the pandemic has made it easier to talk about mental health at work. However, not everyone feels comfortable disclosing their mental health condition, as 50% also worry that it could have a negative impact on their career. Therefore, it is important that employers create a supportive and inclusive work environment where workers can seek help without fear of stigma or discrimination. Some of the workplace initiatives and activities that can help prevent or reduce stress are information and training on well-being and coping with stress, access to counseling and psychosocial support, and awareness raising and other activities to provide information on safety and health. Additionally, workers can benefit from flexible working arrangements, regular breaks, physical exercise, social support, and hobbies. The pandemic has posed unprecedented challenges for workers across Europe. While some have lost their jobs due to lockdowns and economic downturns, others have faced increased stress and pressure in their work. It is crucial that both employers and workers take action to protect their mental health and well-being, as well as their work-life balance. By doing so, they can not only survive the crisis, but also thrive in the post-pandemic workplaces.